Clayton, I know that you brought your Drobo Mini to New Zealand, and I know Callie, you're quite the Drobo Mini princess.
Fanatic.
Yeah, so you guys tell me what my life will be like with my Drobo Mini.
Well, certainly for the person that's taking a lot of photos, I think I brought it, and I think like you maxed out my MacBook Pro. I cleaned off my MacBook Pro, the 15-inch Retina display one, wiped it clean before I left for the trip. Then I filled that up with all my RAW files. Then I also backed it up to the Drobo Mini I brought with me. So I kind of had, a bunch of SD cards that I swapped out, cleaned out, and then as I was eventually using those up going along, so I think I took like 3,500 photos on that trip. And the Drobo Mini, super fast using Thunderbolt. So all of those RAW files being able to transfer over so quickly and being able to store there.
God, that's fast, isn't it? That Thunderbolt on Drobos?
Oh, yeah.
So fast. It's like
beautiful.
100 gigabytes of data is like there in like 3 minutes, it feels like.
And you can edit off of that Drobo too.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to sit there and you could literally import all the photos directly to the Drobo, and there's really no latency at all over Thunderbolts. So it's glorious.
And for anyone who's not familiar with what that is exactly, it's redundant storage. So I mean, what Clayton's talking about is being able to get all your stuff off your SD cards. And for photographers who are traveling, this is just brilliant. It's a little portable device, so it uses like 4 2.5-inch drives, and it has an mSATA card as well for SSD redundancy or acceleration. And so this is just great for photographers not having to worry about, oh my God, did I get everything off that SSD card? What if something happens to my hard drive while I'm traveling? It's redundant storage, so it'll back up the data and keep it safe even if a drive fails. So for photographers and for travelers, like we do video, John P does photography, and so for both of those purposes, when we travel, which we do like 70% of our time, we're taking the Drobo Mini with us and making sure that we don't have to come back and be like, oh, I just lost everything I spent our time capturing, So yeah. It's a really useful device and very portable. Like I said, they have bigger devices for personal use at home and then business use and IT departments and everything, but this one is little. I love it.
Yeah, one of my drives died actually too. Like as I was, I don't know if it was in flight or when I got there or something. It had died and didn't matter. I mean, because it's really swapping the data between those drives, and so you're not losing anything. As Callie said, it's redundant, so it's just great. I saw some people asking, or wanting, talking about like the Drobo 5N or the 5D. And I use the 5D on my at-home iMac, so that's the big boy that I don't move at all. And that bad boy, I have that over Thunderbolt too, and I store my entire Lightroom library on it, and it's super fast.
Yeah, well, you probably when you have the Mini, when you're traveling, you bring it back, you drop everything on the 5D, and then you have a cleared drive, 4 drives for when you're traveling again, right?
Yeah, I clean it totally off again for the next. Yeah.
Hey, Callie and Clayton, someone is asking here, Digital R in Brisbane is asking, do you guys have a Drobo that you can show them in front of you? Is it in reaching distance?
I'm
don't.
Not. Does anybody else? I'm not at the office at the moment.
I have a Drobo 5D here. This is just the cover of it right there that goes on it.
I have one too.
Actually, I might be able to show the whole unit here on the 5D, but I don't know.
You mean the Drobo, right?
Yeah.
He's going under the desk.
The Drobo 5D right there.
There's the whole unit. It lights up.
Those green lights are like your status lights from the guy in Brisbane. So it'll turn like red or yellow if something is wrong with the drive or if it's full. And then those blue lights underneath are capacity lights, so you can see how much storage you have left on your device. So it's really easy to kind of tell. Oh, you have the back cover. You have the cover, right? Right there.
Yeah.
Flip it over.
On the back of the cover? Oh, yeah, you're right. There it is.
Yeah.
There's the whole little...
That's all you need to know to run a
Right.
Drobo. It's brilliant.
Good
It's like, those are the instructions. That's it.
Right. Well, just plug and play, which is really cool. But you know what I've thought about the Drobo Mini for, and I'm going to implement this later this year as part of a backup plan, is I want to get a Drobo Mini because it uses those smaller little laptop hard drives, and those are more durable than other hard drives because they're made to be jostled around in a laptop and things. And so I want to get one of those and then back everything up. And then take those little mini drives, put a rubber band around them, and go put them in a safety deposit box, in a vault, in a bank.
I've thought of that before.
Yeah,
that's
because I mean, then it's like,
but not a bad idea.
why not? I mean, put them in a vault. I mean, what does a safety deposit box cost? You know, $100 a year, $10 a year. I don't know. What are they?
34.
Yeah.
34, and they're small enough you can fit them in there. And if you fill up 4 drives, then just get 4 new ones and just keep storing them there in the vault.
Yeah, and they'll go from being 250 gigabytes. I'm sure each of those little ones will be a terabyte in a year.
Oh, they're already there at a terabyte.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I've had to go buy all new hard drives for my Drobo. I have the same one as you, Thomas. I had to put I guess I have 3 terabyte drives all through there.
I put 5 3-terabyte drives in it.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. It's so fast.
You can, with any of the Drobos, you can actually mix and match sizes, which you can't do with other storage devices. So you could have a 1 terabyte, you can have a 3 terabyte, and it doesn't matter. It'll still do its thing.
You know, one thing I will say, this is my 6th Drobo. I've got 5 other ones. Yeah, I fill them up. And
I can see why.
And the leap in technology, the Thunderbolt leap, from the previous generation Drobos to this Drobo is like 10,000%. I mean, it is just, it's finally, the other ones were great and they did their job, but this thing is just like, it's so slick.
Yeah, they were a little slow, before on the first gens, but this Thunderbolt, the new ones are a lot slower.
I don't have Drobos. I also have 2 Promise Pegasus drives. Each one is a 12 terabyte drive. And, I know that there's a lot of anti-Mac photographers out there. That's fine. But I can tell you this. If you want to make the leap, it's pretty much the same nowadays, frankly. It won't take you that long to get used to. And you're going to get Thunderbolt. And when you connect a Promise Pegasus or a Drobo, it will change your photography life. They used to say back in the day, well, just add more RAM and your computer will be faster. Mm-hmm. Well, if you just go Thunderbolt and have, a big, giant Promise Pegasus or a Drobo, you'll be in a whole new world.
Yeah, and so will your bank account. Those things are not cheap. I mean, this is 1.5 terabyte Seagate that I use for backing mine on. This is like $150. So I mean, I get that Drobo is probably, I don't have one, but I get that they're probably light years faster and whatnot. But man, this, for a tenth of the price, I don't think most people can afford a Drobo.
Well, they're faster. It's when your data is super important. Any data that you really want to.
My data is super important, and so are my dollars.
Right, very true. But consider, that Seagate. That's a great little drive, but it won't.
Oh, she's marginalizing Seagate.
No.
I had a Western Digital. I had a Western Digital one just like that Seagate, and it was one of the large ones. It was like a 3 terabyte Western Digital, and I put my entire iTunes library on it, and it just crashed, gone.
Yeah. What if it crashes? What if you drop it? What if something happens to it? You have no redundancy there.
I mean, if you build your business like Thomas and Trey and around around photography and around these large files that your entire business is dependent upon it, and then for just to have a drive go up, that's another story.
I get Gino's point though.
Go ahead.
I hear that Trey's installing a Drobo Mini in his Mercedes Benz. Isn't that right, Trey?
No.
He's going in his Tesla Model S.
Yeah.
Your new Mercedes Benz SUV, you're not having a Drobo installed?
No, I'm not.
No, I think you're mixing your stories up, Thomas. He's actually having a Starbucks installed in his SUV.
Ah, right.